how do you get past writer's block? Now, I was reading a book by a writer called Victoria Nelson. I haven't got it with me, but and it's a very interesting book because it tells you, it deals with the various reasons why you may not want to write, and that it's your unconscious that is resistant to the idea of writing, and then you, for some reasons which are parts of your childhood experience, and you may have had bad experiences. For example, a teacher who was marking your writing or your dissertations, your essays, and was too critical, or it might be due to your family experience. And when you try to write, your unconscious rebels, and you become it becomes a struggle. What the book is trying to argue is that in fact you really do want to write because it should give you pleasure most of the time. That doesn't mean it's hard work, but for most people, for most writers, they do it because they like it. It gives them a sense of fulfillment. It gives them, it's not just an unpleasant task, it's actually rewarding. And so why do some people, they should be, they should want to do it, and yet they stop themselves from doing something which could give them a great sense of pleasure and happiness, which should be a reward. So why do they punish themselves? Why don't they want, why do they stop themselves? And we may not be aware of the reasons, and it may be, it can be a lot of different reasons. It may be because of low self-esteem, because we're afraid. We prefer to dream of what we could achieve rather than doing something that we may feel is not good enough, and so we prefer not to do anything at all. Or it could be because I've given the reason, the teacher who was too strict, or we feel our parents would disapprove of what we're doing, or society would disapprove of what we're doing, or we just set standards which are too high. So how do we overcome that? By giving ourselves the right to write, and maybe not expecting that we're going to write the great novel, the novel of the century, and not aiming for perfection, because if we aim for perfection we'll be very disappointed. And doing one thing at a time, and allowing ourselves maybe to write for 10 minutes each day, doing little tasks, little things, and then we might increase our output, and we can try to write for longer, and then once we become used to it, our resistance to writing should not be so strong. So a lot of guidelines. I don't agree with everything it says, but I think it's I think it's quite interesting, because I've been wanting to write for a while, and I find that I start things, but then I don't carry on, because when it takes a long time to get me motivated, and when I start doing it, then I put it in a drawer, and I know I should edit what I've written, or put it on the internet or whatever, or try to rewrite some of the stuff, some of the short stories I've written, but I feel too embarrassed to some of them even to look at them again, because I just feel they're not very good. So this is good, and it doesn't give you any magical tools. If you're more if you're really interested in writer's block and you want to find out a bit more, you want to find a good tool for motivation, I've got one book here. It's quite well known. It's Natalie Goldberg, Writing Down the Bones. It's just inspirational stuff, and she writes about her own experience, and it's really good at motivating you. So I really encourage you to buy it or to borrow it from the library if you're interested. Okay, this is all for now. Bye bye. And remember the book I was talking about, Victoria Nelson, Writer's Block. Okay, bye bye.